It's over 9,000!
Welcome, Super Elite Warriors, to Final Forum, a podcast for the discussion of all things Dragon Ball. I am your host, Jelly, an elite recruiting member of the Frieza Force on a mission to find the best warriors from across the galaxy to join the greatest army of all time. And I am joined, as always, by my new recruit co-host.
This is the Bekinney.
And we're on our way to a power reading that popped up some 100 scud away.
100 scud? Isn't that like 10,000 miles? That's on the literal other side of the planet.
And we can fly fast enough that it'll only take us a few minutes to get there.
Right, but flying that fast will drain our power and stamina.
And?
And what if we need to do battle when we arrive at the power reading?
What makes you think we'll have to do battle when we arrive?
Why do you always ask that? When will you get it through your head that every time we've ever done anything we've had to battle, or have faced some sort of threat, or have had to run for our lives, or something similar?
I don't know. Let's say when we remember to plan our episodes out a little better and not just take things one at a time.
You know what? Fair, I guess. Hard to learn from the past when you're just trudging blindly forward.
Now you're getting it. Trudge on, recruit. Trudge on.
You ever stop to think that maybe we should stop blindly pushing forward and learn from our past mistakes?
Mistakes? A super elite member of the Frieza Force makes no mistakes. You know this.
You know, you don't have to brown nose anymore. We're well outside of Frieza Force space.
I don't have to do a lot of the things I do. I just like to.
Is getting me killed on that list of things that you don't have to do but enjoy doing anyway?
Not officially, no. But I could put it on there if you like.
You know, with you, I have no idea if this is some kind of test, and if I say do it, I pass. Or if I really should say don't do it, because allowing you to put Kill Bekinney on a list would make it seem like a checklist for you, and you'd kind of just do it out of obligation.
With this kind of circular logic and your incessant stream of talking, it'd be a pleasure, not an obligation.
Well, okay, don't put killing me on your list, please.
Very well. Listeners, we're flying over the surface of TOI 700D.
Surface?
As Bekinney just pointed out via his question, water seems to cover most of the planet, dotted here and there by islands that look more like rocky points jutting from the sea at irregular intervals than any indication of a habitable landmass. There seems to be plenty of ingredients required for life, but no signs of it. That's not to say that there's nothing resting beneath the waves, but there are no signs of even rock-dwelling life forms like crustaceans or mollusks or amphibious creatures. No birds in the sky or signs of scat on the rock formations. There doesn't even appear to be any plant life to speak of. It feels a tad too beautiful to be called desolate, but it seems at a glance as if life has not taken a foothold on this world, despite favorable conditions.
How can there be a power reading if there's no life?
How can there be any of the things we've encountered thus far?
Fair enough, but with a power level of 8,016, I'd like to be prepared for what we're about to encounter.
It's over 8,000? Huh. Neat.
Is that from something?
Depends what language you speak.
What?
Never mind. Look up ahead.
What am I looking at?
If my eyes are halfway decent, it's a landmass, and one of considerable size. And as it comes further into focus, I think I see green.
Green? What are you, colorblind? Those are red trees and red grass.
Must have been blue shift.
For blue shift to make red appear to be green, you'd have to be moving at millions of miles per hour.
I'm very fast.
No, that's... Can't you just admit you didn't see things properly or maybe misspoke?
I never misspeak. Now keep your head on a shovel.
What?
Another one of those Earth sayings. I'm guessing because shovels move dirt around, it means to keep your eyes focused on the ground.
I see. Well, aside from the grass and the trees, I don't see much of anything.
That's why you need to keep your eyes healed.
Okay, now I know that one's wrong, and I'm pretty sure I've heard you say it correctly before.
Anyway, listeners, the vast rock outcroppings have now given way to a grassland, and up ahead, a bit of a forest. The greenery, as you might think of it, is in fact a shade of red, tinged with bits of green. No doubt due to the light from the planet's red sun. Something to add?
No, I mean, we could probably have a whole podcast on how red light doesn't produce red leaves, but go on, don't let me distract you.
As I was saying, the forest looks like there's a clearing in the middle, and if our readings are right, the power reading we were picking up on is coming from that clearing.
Wow, we made pretty good time.
See? 100 scud was nothing.
Yeah, but could we slow down a bit? Traveling that fast wears me out a little.
Through the magic of nobody being able to see us, we already have slowed down.
Well, what do you know? You're right. For once. Should we split apart in case whatever we're approaching is antagonistic? We can have a flank on it immediately.
And how would you feel if you were just hanging out on your home world and two alien beings outflanked you right from the jump? Cornered, perhaps? Attacked? Ambushed?
Fair point. But again, most of the things we've encountered have turned out to be antagonistic, so I feel like it's the prudent thing to do. After all...
Look!
What in the name of Frieza?
Listeners, we have yet to see into the clearing, but as we cruise over the treetops, we can see through the canopy straight to the forest floor. And to say that my earlier comments about this planet not having life need to be amended is to put it lightly. There are thousands...
Millions.
Possibly, yes. Millions of what appear to be... What would you describe these things as, Bekinney?
Revolting.
I meant something more scientific. You are the biologist here, after all.
Well, I mean, it's difficult to speak taxonomically from this distance, but they're like if a monkfish sprouted teeth like a naked mole rat and moved in a wriggling mass of teeth and stumpy appendages. That they're not tearing each other apart in that writhing mass seems almost like a miracle.
Why would they be tearing each other apart? They're all heading in the same direction, towards that clearing.
Well, if you pay a little closer attention, you can tell not all of them are heading that way. This has all the signs of a feeding frenzy. There are pockets here and there that are circling around smaller areas, as if it's something crashed into this clearing, creating it and losing chunks of itself, and the creatures that realize they can't get at the chunks are heading towards the main meal.
If something crashed into the area, wouldn't we see more signs? Downed trees, ash, blackened bark?
Assuming it fell from atmospheric height, and also that these trees all function that way, and that the clearing itself wasn't here before and just happened to be where something fell, yes. But I'm not even necessarily saying that's what happened.
Then what are you saying?
I'm attempting to explain a scene of primal otherworldliness to our listeners and doing the best that I can.
Well, in that case, I suppose you're doing a decent enough job. I can't think of any other way to describe it, after all.
Really? I'm surprised you're not saying you've seen something exactly like this on the Claptalk region of Zarbospace on planet Sun Gully with the Blubber Dogs.
I suppose I could equate the scene to any number of exotic planets I've been on, but few are as well-traveled as I. Yes, listeners, as we descend further toward the ground and circle in on the clearing, the scene Bekinney described is fairly accurate. These fish rats do indeed appear to be engaged in some sort of feeding frenzy. As the trees open up and we enter the clearing from above, I can only see these creatures, as if the very ground were made of their living, brownish-black bodies and bony yellow teeth. And a mound towards our 2 o'clock in the clearing, about a third of the way in from the edge of the last tree, must be whatever large mass they're feeding on. I'm not sure if that concentration of creatures is the power reading we've picked up, or the body underneath it is.
Why do you assume it's a body?
It's a feeding frenzy, isn't it? Don't things usually feed on bodies?
Well, not always.
Things like this?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
As I was about to say, we're going to approach the mound as cautiously as possible and see if we can see what has drawn these creatures so passionately.
Look out!
Whoa! These things can leap!
Definitely something to be aware of. You gotta be almost 20 feet off the ground and that thing shot past your face.
What the hell was that all about?
It's a feeding frenzy. They're out of control. Or they're always like this. Being that this is the first time we've ever encountered these things, who can say for sure?
Isn't that why I brought you along? To say for sure?
Given how the show has gone, you've mostly brought me along to pick on me and kill me regularly.
And to say things for sure.
Well, I can say for sure that the one that initially jumped landed, and a whole group of them is now looking at us and appear coiled to strike. We better get to higher ground.
I got a better idea. Zeddy Blast!
No, don't! What have you done?
I cleared out the clearing. Of course, I didn't put my full force into the blast. I only wanted to clear out the fish rats, not whatever they were munching on.
What if this gathering represented most of their population? You might have wiped out a population just out of curiosity.
I've heard of worse reasons. Besides, they're not all necessarily dead. Like I said, I didn't put everything I had into that blast. A lot of those creatures could have survived at the tree lines, under each other, around that heap they're all trying to get at. Be on your guard as we go down there. More could be jumping out at us.
You. They might come jumping out at you. I'm not going down there.
Of course you are.
You want me to descend into what was a pit of ravenous, out-of-control animals into what is not a remainder or ravenous, out-of-control animals, who are probably feeling cornered and threatened and now ready to fight for survival to help investigate some MacGuffin?
That's an accurate enough summary, yeah. I might need your expertise when we see what's under all those charred husks.
But I can just use my scouter's zoom function.
But you might need to take samples and get hands-on.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
No, I absolutely am not.
All right, I'm coming.
As we descend into the pit, the aroma of the charred fish rats is oddly appetizing.
Disgusting.
I think it smells good anyway.
And you thought that bullet ant shank tasted good. Your tastes are revolting.
I also don't hate Dragon Ball GT.
Like I said, disgusting.
Hey, help me out here. There are dead fish rats all over this mound, and we'll be here forever if I have to clear them off on my own.
Hang on, why not just do this?
What are you doing?
What, never heard of a ground pound?
A what?
Step back.
Hey, that was pretty effective. You knocked all the dead creatures off with a combination of wind and vibration from that move.
Yeah, it's hell on the knees, though.
Be that as it may, we're getting a good look at the mound of whatever these creatures were attempting to feast upon.
This is wrong. Something's not right here.
You always say that.
But these creatures seem like they're maybe not quite dead or something. I don't know. There's still wriggling going on. It's extremely unsettling.
That's because I didn't put everything I had into my Zeri blast. When we head back out, I'll make sure I properly blast the area, unless there's something really cool under this mound.
That's the other thing. This mound. I feel activity coming from it, like in the back of my head. Like it's scratching or tapping or something and trying to get into my mind.
That's just nerves. Come on. It actually looks like whatever this is came from inside the ground. It appears to be pushing out, with bony protuberances sticking out in spots, and there's a great deal of dirt and grass covering it. Do another one of your pound-aroundy thingies and clear it off.
Ground pound. And I don't think that'll work. We'll have to pull this soil off by hand. It's too stuck on to be removed by force of wind and vibration.
Okay.
Well, you get started on that. I'm going to go give a closer inspection to these fish rats. It's weird. Somehow, I don't know. I feel like being this close to them, I can sense them or something. It's worth a closer look.
Just don't eat them all without me.
I wouldn't eat one of them with you.
Oh, there's no accounting for taste.
Hey, you said it, not me.
I meant your taste.
Ugh, boy, these things are really hideous.
That's your big observation? You couldn't help me with all this dirt in order to discover that the ugly creatures are ugly?
No, you jackass. I was just making a comment. What I'm actually learning is...
Hey, look! It's all uncovered. What the hell is this?
Oh, no.
What?
We need to get out of here right now.
What?
Right now! Go!
What the hell? This seems, interesting.
Get out of there!
I don't know what the hell is going on, though.
First of all, those things aren't dead. They're regenerating.
Fascinating. They have regenerative abilities. We need to take a sample for examination. Maybe 2 or 3 so I can eat one.
No, they don't naturally have them. It's from that. They're mutating from eating that.
What? This is just a stump with some bones sticking out of it.
Remember the giant plant monster thing from a few planets ago?
Yeah? This looks nothing like that. That was green and mossy and tendrily and maybe slimy? This is blackish, bluish stump with bones sticking out all over.
This is the bottom end.
What? How could you possibly know that? We never saw its bottom end.
It tapped into some sort of ESP center in my brain, remember? Trust me, I know.
Okay, so we just destroy it.
No, you don't get it. Whatever it did to those bird people, it's doing to these...
Fish rats.
Sure, whatever. But these things aren't meek and weak and easy to kill. They're not scared and they're not subservient. They're hyper-violent and they're going to swarm us as soon as they recover. In fact, look.
Listeners, as Bekinney observes from the sky, like a coward, hundreds of fish rats are emerging from the tree line, evidently no longer scared of whatever singed their comrades. The last mistake many of them will ever make.
Yeah! Hey-ya! Ha! Ha 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 ha! There are too many of them. Get out of there.
Yeah, okay, I'll... Hey, what the hell? Ow. What?
It's the root system. It's got you.
Help me out!
How?
I'll try to free myself from this. Yeah!
It's growing back around everywhere that you blast it.
Shut up. I'll get myself free. Yeah! You keep picking off the fish rats so they don't get me.
But...
Just do it!
Hey-ya! Ha! Yeah, 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 yeah! Ah!
Yeah! Ah! I told you to pick off these creatures. Hey, yeah!
There are too many of them.
Well, you have to do something. The stump is fighting me, and it keeps regrowing everywhere I blast it.
I don't know what to do, though. There are way too many of these things to keep picking them off. They're going to be on you in seconds.
Blast the whole area.
But you'll be caught in the blast.
I'll be fine. And if I'm not, I'd rather be blasted than chewed apart by these things.
But...
No time to argue. Just do it.
Okay. Dynamite, explosion, ultimate, destructive, blast!
That name sucks.
Shut up! Ah! Listeners, if there even are listeners anymore, who knows if these broadcasts are reaching anyone? As the smoke clears and the dust settles, it looks like my attack worked. At least for what I was asked. I don't see any of the monkfish mole rat things. At least none moving. Unfortunately, what I also don't see is Jelli. There's a smoldering crust where the tail end of the gigantic plant creature was, but no sign of the clearing ever held any form of life. In fact, there's barely any signs of a forest any longer. Most of the trees have been destroyed. Well, I guess that's it. I don't know how to end one of these things, especially not the last one ever, since I won't keep doing this now. I'm gonna head back home and... Wait, maybe Jelli is alive. The crust of char around the root is cracking. Jelli may be breaking free and... Oh no, It's repaired itself and... Hiya! Hiya! Ha 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 ha! Ya 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 ya! It's attacking me, stretching out of the ground and slashing at me like a flail. I don't know if the ship is still there, or if the other end of this thing has grown around it or consumed it, but I'm not sticking around here. Ah! What's that brightness? Ah!
You were just gonna leave without me?
Jelly! You're alive?
Of course!
How?
I let the plant thing grow over me completely, utilizing deep focus to slow my breathing and heart rate. And when you blasted, you only hit that, and not me. Then I focused my key and blasted it out of me, shredding that thing from the inside. Whoa. You really scorched this place. And you've transformed again.
I put a lot into that blast. I even thought I might have overdone it. Guess in the push to fire everything I had into it, I transformed.
Well, if you can maintain that form, you might want to. I don't think we're done here yet.
You said it. Look behind you.
Yeah! Listeners, the root or butt or tendril or tail or whatever it is still seeking us out.
And look!
There are more of them?
It's starting to take over the planet. Without the true balance and symbiosis, it's going to consume this entire world. We'll have to get out of here.
I'm way ahead of you. Literally.
Oh, you son of a...
You should be capable of your fastest speeds in that form. Come on, let's go. We can cover the ground between here and the ship in mere plot-convenient moments.
Dodging all these tendrils at this speed is no easy feat.
Why do they all look different than that first one?
I'm getting little hints from these things, but not full-on mind reading. Maybe that's its main root or something. When you blasted it, you sent the thing haywire. It's firing tendrils all over the planet, searching for us. Maybe you weakened it.
Huh. Well, I doubt that'll be useful information later. Come on!
You don't have to tell me twice.
Listeners, as we travel at speeds that defy explanation or accurate quantification, it's difficult to see, but it appears as if the entire surface of the planet is coming to life with tendrils.
Not only that, but millions and millions more monkfish mole rats.
Yes, and a great many more fish rats.
Their hostility might be helpful to us, though. They're trying to fight this plant thing off like some kind of infection. They're not happy it's here and that it's attempting to change the balance of their existence.
Your little ESP is extremely convenient when it wants to be, isn't it?
Look, until a while back I didn't even know I had this ability, and I have no idea how to control it or tap into it at will. It's not like I have any ability to practice or hone that skill. I'm relaying what I'm feeling here, not much more than that.
Well, can you tell me anything else?
This thing came here on our ship.
Anything I don't already know, I meant.
Well, I wasn't done talking yet. It obviously came here on our ship. Burrowed into the planet when we crashed, and has been establishing a root system this entire time. Maybe we shouldn't have sat down and stared at the wall for 2 hours.
Yeah, well, we did. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
No, it really didn't. Anyway, it mostly went undetected until it tried to really strongly root itself on the opposite side of the planet and, I don't know, somehow disturb those little creatures? Who knows? Maybe they're subterranean and it burrowed through one of their nests. Or maybe when it poked a few anchoring holes in the surface, it gave off some pheromones that they responded to. Whatever the case may be, they came flocking to it to try to devour it and purge their planet. But it's affecting them. It's only a matter of time before... Oh no.
What?
Look, below you.
Listeners, these fish rats have turned on each other? Fighting and tearing at each other, turning the serene ocean waters into pools of blackish, oily blood. Our glorious deliverance is at hand. Nigh is the time of the moss bearers. All will be green and bountiful when we send our spores to the cosmos.
The ones that bit into the plant thing are becoming slaves to its mind control. Wait, what was that you were just saying?
Yeah!
Oof! Hey, what the hell?
Traitor, you will pay with your life.
Wait, Jelly!
Yeah!
You thought you could escape? None can escape the moss bearers. Ours is the universe.
Damn it. Listeners, Jelly must have had some sort of spores or something injected into him when he was slashed at the root stump earlier.
Yeah! As you lie there, on one of this planet's rock clumps, take solace in knowing that the Moss Bearers will use the energy you provided via your ship to spread throughout the galaxy once again. No more shall we be relegated to a singular planet incapable of reaching beyond the pull of the nearby star. Our time is at hand once again.
Jelli, it's not you talking. The plant monster's in your mind. It has taken hold and... No, don't do it!
City Blast!
Yeah! Number puncher shock attack! Yeah! Ancestors. Descendants.
Wait!
What? What?
What are you doing? You're charging up a bloodline annihilation fist on me? Have you lost your mind? Again?
Me? You were the one who's just crazy with bloodlust and you were mind controlled.
That doesn't sound like me.
Well, it was.
I don't remember it, though, so it can't have been me.
Look, we can figure that out later. For now, keep dodging these tendrils. As long as you're sure you're back to yourself. No further attempts to make the Moss Bearers the ruler of the universe?
What the hell are you talking about, Recruit?
That sounds enough like you. I'm sold. Come on.
That's not good.
Well, we had a good try, but...
Listeners, we're back to our ship. Listeners, we're back to where our ship was, and the plant monster...
Moss Bearer.
Thanks for the ESP update.
Not ESP this time. I was told the name.
It doesn't matter. The Moss Bearer has grown its maw around our ship.
How the hell are we going to get out of there?
I don't know.
It's also covered in...
Fish rats, yeah. This is, impossible.
Look at you with a note of pessimism for once. I actually might have an idea. Would you rather run distraction or try to get into the ship?
Neither, obviously.
Pick one.
I guess get at the ship?
You know that means you have to be really close to that thing, right?
You know that running distraction means you have to dodge hundreds of fish rats, right?
But potentially from a distance. That feels like the key here. Anyway, while I run distraction, you'll get onto the ship.
If I'm not killed in the attempt.
Right, if you're not killed in the attempt. From there, get one of the ship's Quintex batteries.
I think this thing feeds on energy, though. Won't that just make it stronger?
I have a plan for that, but you have to get a Quintex. Get it out of the ship, and get it back here, all without breaking it.
Cool. Quintex batteries are pretty fragile.
I'm aware of that.
I still don't get this plan.
Listen, just do it. This thing isn't going to give us a moment's rest.
Okay, well, you're the distraction. Start distracting.
Shut your eyes for a second.
What?
Just do it. Sunspot beam!
Whoa. It's like daylight just erupted into my eye holes. My eyes are closed.
Yeah, that should blind it while you pivot around. Get moving. I'll keep attacking.
Okay. Should have called it a solar flare.
Ha! 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 Yeah! Yeah! Hey! Yeah!
Listeners, I'm on the ship and I can hear Bekinney still dealing with this gigantic nightmare outside. Now where the hell... Ah! Right here. Access panel 14. Hey, Bekinney, I have the battery!
Good. Yeah! Now get it back out here. Yeah!
Do one of those sunspots again.
I don't think it'll work twice. Besides... Hey-ya! I think it's fixated enough on me for now.
You better be right about this.
Hey, if I'm not, at least you get to be blown up by a Quintex battery. I'll probably get eaten and digested over a course of a disturbingly long time.
Well, I like the sound of that.
I knew you would. Hi-ya!
Okay, I'm heading towards your bearing.
No, head back to the opposite side of the planet.
Lugging this thing the whole way?
Yes, you have to.
Then what?
I'll tell you when you get there. Now go!
I don't like this dynamic reversal, you know.
You can be incompetently back in charge soon enough.
As long as I can be brash and annoying, too.
Do you know any other way?
I might, but I'll never say.
See, you're getting the dynamic back to normal already.
Fair point. Dodging these tendrils is a massive pain, but I'm close to back. Now what?
This is going to require precise timing.
That's the only kind of timing I know.
I know that's not true, but I don't have the strength to argue with you right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty weakened myself. This has been a grind.
Do you have enough energy for a Zeri Blast?
I think so.
Good. When I tell you to, blast the root stump.
I'm coming up on the area now.
What?
That stump is like, 10 times bigger than it was before?
Good.
What? How is that good?
This thing is overloading on energy. It can't stop sucking it in. It's priming to explode and attempting to do so out of its stump.
So why the hell did you send me down here?
You volunteered!
I didn't know what I was volunteering for.
Well, you have the less dangerous task of this part anyway.
Getting exploded at?
Let me explain.
Do it fast. This thing is pulsating.
Okay, so it's gathering energy. It's gonna blast its spores into space and start colonizing galaxies. We can't let that happen.
I don't see how we can stop it if it feeds on energy. Isn't this just going to boost it more? And what about our ship? And how are we going to escape?
First of all, yes, it feeds on energy. And yes, this will boost it more.
Then what are we doing it for?
It won't be able to control that boost. As you Zeri blast it, drop the Quintex battery behind the blast. The battery will fall into the hole from whatever damage you cause and explode on impact.
Again, it sounds like I'm just feeding this thing.
But you're shoving energy into an exit. You're going to make it backfire, and backfire it will. You already did it once a little bit. The pain it felt when you blasted out the stump earlier was next level, and that was nothing compared to a Quintex battery exploding. It's going to cause a chain reaction that will blast the entire thing to pieces in all directions, hopefully killing the spores as well. But if not, it will leave them to drift, directionless. They'll get sucked into the nearest gravity well, which is either a nearby dead planet, where it'll have no energy to feed on, or the next star, which will incinerate it.
Okay. Not bad, not bad. But what about the ship? What about us?
That's where things get tricky. In the instant before it actually explodes, I have to launch a Bloodline Annihilation Fist, severing the maw in the absolute instant it decays, without myself getting caught in the resultant explosion, while also bumping the ship so that it too clears the explosion.
This is impossible.
Probably, but it's our only chance, and the only hope this galaxy has of not becoming this thing's domain entirely.
I feel like we should allow that to happen and just get the hell out of here.
If you can think of any other way to free the ship from how embedded it is in this thing's face, I'm all ears. Though to be fair, I'd probably not listen too hard, as I'm not in favor of letting a galaxy go to ruin just because it's a hassle to stop it.
I don't like hassles, though. They're so inconvenient.
Well, too bad. I won't have the blood of untold billions on our hands for not acting. Besides, think of it. You'll be a galactic hero.
I like the sound of that. I've done that a couple times. Adulation never gets old, but still, when this thing blows up, won't it take the planet and us with it?
Probably, but there's a slim chance.
I don't see how.
I'll get onto the ship, engaging thrusters at max speed, blasting through the debris of the planet itself, and grab you as I go, hopefully avoiding the destruction, the heat of the blast, and getting to you before the atmosphere completely dissipates, and or you suffocate in the vacuum of space. The ship is fast enough, but it's just a matter of not being too damaged.
Split-second timing. Extremely high chance of failure. If this were one of my plans, I'd be excited to be a part of it.
Okay. Are you ready?
I've been gathering my ki this entire time. This is going to take a lot out of me.
Join the club, pal. I'm about running on empty here.
It's now or never, then.
Okay, in 3. 3, 2...
Wait.
What?
On one? Or one then go?
On 1.
Don't we usually go on go?
But this time it's my plan.
Oh, you're just eating this up, aren't you?
You know it. Okay, 3, 2, 1...
Zeri Blast!
Ancestors, descendants, channel your energy to the start, the Bekinney. Make me the font of your ki. I beg of you to give all you can and all that I ask. Bloodline, annihilation.
Too weak.
Yeah! Thrusters engaged. Here we go. Hang on, Jelly.
Listeners, tune in.
Hold on!
Next.
I'm almost to your signal. I'm opening the cargo doors. I'll catch you as I swoop by. And gotcha! Wow. I can't believe that worked. The creature glowed bright orange and erupted in a mass of sludge and fire like a lava lamp shattering on the ground. TOI 700D is no more. But we made it! We did it, Jelly! Jelly? Hang on, I'm coming with a med pack. I've got the med pack. Here, let me hook you up. This'll help.
Help us achieve.
Just rest. The med pack will heal you, I think. I don't know your anatomy that well, despite us spending 3 years together.
Final four.
Come on, you can't have died from that. Jelly. 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 Jelly!